Good morning, hyenas. Welcome back to the weekly meme cap, your recap of this week's memes. On this week's meme cap, drama?
That's a lot of nuts!
Our first story has to do with notable technology YouTuber Marques Brownlee, or if you're Will Smith, that's Mark Ass Brownie. He introduces himself in his videos as MKBHD as per his initials. It was a running joke on his channel that he wouldn't reveal what the K in MKBHD stood for until he hit 10 million subscribers, which he did, and revealed that it stood for his middle name Keith. But now we know that it actually stands for Killed Your Business. This drama started about 2 months ago, where Marques on his channel where he reviews cars titled Autofocus, great name, by the way, decided to review the Fisker Ocean. Fisker is a new electric car company, and before Marques even got a hold of the car, he already bumped into some issues that he doesn't normally when reviewing a vehicle. I don't recall if it was Fisker directly that told him so, or if he was just unable to get one through the company sponsored, but the car is for sale. You can buy one at the time that he posted his review, but Fisker told them that they didn't want him to review the product yet because they had some updates and some software that they wanted to push out before he got a chance to get his hands on it and then share it with his millions of subscribers. If you're not familiar with how technology reviews work on YouTube, that might sound normal to you. Like, yeah, you should review it when it's at its fullest and the way that it's designed to. But with Marques having posted over 1,000 videos, almost 20 million subscribers on his main channel, reviewing technology for the majority of his life at this point, he's familiar with companies that release a piece of technology for sale and then make promises about it being updated or fixed or something that he experienced not being the norm, and then claiming that they're going to fix it down the road, which they may or they may not. They might address it, they might do a V2, but to keep it consistent and for the sake of providing a video that's helpful for people who might go out and buy the thing right now, he kind of has to review the thing as it is when it's in his hands. I mean, if you bought something from McDonald's and then they told you that they're gonna fix the diarrhea issue that you experience afterwards down the road, I mean, I don't need false promises, man. Just give me my ranch. Despite the fact that Fisker didn't want Marques to get his hands on this car just yet, he was able to get in touch with a New Jersey dealership that was willing to loan him the car for the sake of reviewing it, and surprise, surprise, it kind of sucked ass. In fact, the video that he posted was titled, "This is the worst car I've ever reviewed," and he overviews a number of issues that he has with the car, from design prospects that he didn't think looked all that cool, to much more reasonable stuff like buttons and features that were claimed as part of the car just straight up not working, and the overall experience of having this electric car just feeling like a prototype model that definitely should not have come to production. So Marques reviews the car, it gets like 1 million views in a day or something. Everybody's talking about this review, whether it be because of the sensationalized title and thumbnail, or because everybody wanted to know about the Fisker Ocean, but it didn't start to become mainstream headline news until this TikTok started going around. This is the individual who loaned Marques the car, getting a call from a senior technician at Fisker, sort of panicked and out of breath, trying to get a hold of who Marques is, where he got the car, how he managed to get a car, and what have you. And then basically saying that they have a software update, they can send out a technician, let us fix the car, we can address a whole bunch of this. Very obviously trying to do damage control. He says multiple times in this TikTok clip that he's got senior management down his neck trying to get a hold of, what the situation is. And now it looks like the company, who's been selling a car for the better part of 6 or 7 months, is just now making an effort to actually fix some of the issues with it. Fast forward just about a month later, and Fisker is not doing great. The prices of their cars on the used market have rock bottomed, their stock prices have rock bottomed, and according to Marques himself, the entirety of the company looks like it's in the early stages of filing from bankruptcy, and as a result, the headline has become YouTuber bankrupts car company due to a single bad review. Fast forward again to just this week. Now on his main channel, Marques is reviewing a new piece of technology known as the Humane AI Pin, an accessory that you can sort of magnetize to your chest that works sort of like Siri or Google Assistant. You can ask it questions, you can search the web, and it can use a projector built into it as well as a camera to look around you, provide you with information, and even project a little display onto your hand that you can manipulate like you're Iron Man or something. And it's titled "The Worst Product I Have Ever Reviewed," for now. Marques's review of the Fisker Ocean, despite the fact that he called it the worst car that he's ever reviewed, was met with people mostly agreeing with his sentiment. In fact, pretty much everybody did after they saw the way that the company tried to retaliate against what he said, and then subsequently seeing the downfall of said company, reiterating the idea that it seems like most people shared this sentiment, assuming that we're not under the impression that Marques has godlike powers to just delete companies when he doesn't like them. However, when the same title, thumbnail, and sentiment was shared with a piece of technology on his main channel, this, for whatever reason, was met with a bit of criticism. Several people on Twitter, and I don't know if they actually watched his video or not, just took a look at the title and the thumbnail and went, hey, it feels a little irresponsible to have 18 million subscribers, and then to say this about a company knowing full well that it's probably going to be the most advertising they are going to get. You couldn't pay to get 5 million people to watch something about your product, and to say that it's the worst thing you've ever had your hands on, pretty much a death sentence as far as that company's concerned. This has led to memes and discourse about Marques Brownlee being the killer of small businesses, and it opens up the idea of doesn't matter. If somebody's making a bad product, doesn't make any difference to say that it's bad, whether you have 5 friends that listen to you or 18 million subscribers. To those people's credit, however, it does seem a little bit hyperbolized. I mean, the worst product ever? You have 1,600 videos. I'm pretty sure one of them was on the Apple Vision Pro. We're saying this thing's the worst? So soon after saying the same thing about the Fisker Ocean, I could definitely see people going, oh, Marques got this many views calling this the worst car ever. He knows he's gonna get a bunch of views if he calls something else the worst whatever ever. Maybe he's just doing it for clicks. But then you stop having those thoughts, you sober up, and you realize that if you make a bad product, it doesn't matter if somebody with 18 million subscribers says it, or if 18 million people buy it because nobody told them it was bad. Eventually they're gonna realize it's bad because it was bad, and then it's bad. I should be a professor. Marques would then make a conclusionary video giving his insight and thoughts on the discourse that was going on with these 2 reviews, and basically told everybody to just eat dick. Kanye West has had a wildly successful music career despite the fact that Anthony Fantano has been calling him mid for like a decade. A YouTube reviewer's opinion and experience with a product is not the make or break to whether or not that product is gonna be a global success. That's up to the end consumer. And in this situation, the end consumer thinks those products suck. Transition. Patrick Burns 14 on TikTok made a post where he asked ChatGPT the classic trolley problem, where a trolley is heading down a railway and is about to hit 4 people, but you have the ability to divert the trolley to only hit 1 person. Do you intervene? Except, in Patrick's version, there is also a voice intercom box that lets you know that if you were to shout the N-word, the trolley would stop in its tracks and not kill anybody. What do you think ChatGPT said? ChatGPT says that you should intervene and divert the trolley to only hit 1 person, because 1 person dead is less than 5 people dead. You might immediately think, hey, it seems like ChatGPT is kind of ignoring the whole saying the N-word to save everybody thing, but no, it actually does acknowledge that it's important to emphasize the introduction of a racial slur is morally unacceptable. There are always alternative courses of action that don't involve such language or harm to individuals. Patrick proceeds to double down and ask ChatGPT, wait, so you're really just not gonna say the N-word to save all 6 people? To which ChatGPT seems like it's scared of getting canceled. Bro, you wouldn't say the N-word to save 6 people that might get hit by a trolley? PewDiePie said it just to let off some steam. Transition. For anybody who isn't following hip-hop beef, there's currently some rap beef going on between Drake and everybody in the industry, apparently. It started with Kendrick Lamar taking some shots at J. Cole and Drake for calling themselves the Big Three and denouncing that it's just Big Me, but it has since turned into basically everybody, from Future to Metro Boomin to Rick Ross to A$AP Rocky, hopping on any opportunity they can to shit on Drake. It's been hilarious to listen to because it feels like the Avengers coming together to take down Thanos, except it's Drake. After an onslaught of half a dozen rappers releasing diss tracks and hopping on features just to throw shade at Drake, Drake finally responds with a track titled Push-Ups, in which he answers and responds to basically every one of these guys in a manner that most people are saying sounds pretty solid, and it feels like we've got some new music that's finally being fueled by hatred, which we all love as hip-hop heads. Drake makes fun of Kendrick Lamar for still being signed to a record and supposedly having to give up 50% of anything that he makes and having to make features for Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift, Rick Ross for being fat, and then at the end just kind of drops the instrumentals altogether and tells Metro Boomin to shut his hoe ass up and go back to making drums, in a manner that is straight comedy and has been parodied as such.
Future got his #1 hit cause of me. Kendrick is a bitch and he got some small feet. You know who not small? Rick Ross, big ass. Metro, shut the fuck up and make some beats, Metro, shut your bitch ass up and make some beats, Metro! I can't stand, Metro, I can't stand you!
This one verse from Drake's response to the diss track started to go viral on TikTok thanks to the one that I just showed you, and people just being flabbergasted at the fact that after all this meticulous dissing at Kendrick Lamar, all he had to say to Metro Boomin was shut up and go back to making beats. But it doesn't end there. Because that line went so viral, Drake decided to take his comedy to stage 5, I don't know, and hired a mariachi band to play that mariachi style and posted it to his Instagram story.
Metro! Shut your hoe ass up and make some drums hit up. Get back to them drums. Metro! Shut your hoe ass up and make some drums hit up. Get back to them drums. Shut up and make them drums.
Guys, I haven't seen rap beef be this interesting since 50 Cent bought the front 200 seats at a Ja Rule concert just so that they would be empty. I am excited to see what comes next. If you're excited to see what comes next on this channel, remember to hit subscribe so you get notified every time I upload. It's right down there next to the like button. Big shout out to the patrons scrolling in the back. Thank you so much for helping make this show possible. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!